Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're actually decoding the wildly counterintuitive reality behind a fast food giant we all know and love. I mean, we all know the Golden Arches, right? We've all probably ordered from their menu at some point, but hidden right behind the fries and the shakes is an absolute masterclass in corporate strategy, and it's literally hiding in plain sight.
So, let's just kick things off with a simple question that kind of challenges everything you probably think you know about this brand. Does McDonald's make most of its money from burgers? Now, it feels like the most logical assumption in the world. They sell burgers, fries, and drinks to millions of hungry people every single day, so you'd naturally think the direct profit from that food is what fuels the whole empire.
Well, the answer is a resounding no. The food is honestly just a vehicle for something much, much bigger. Their real, hidden business model is this secret engine that turned them into a staggering $200+ billion giant. Just to put that into perspective for a second, that kind of valuation rivals massive tech monopolies, not just food chains. The way they actually generate wealth is brilliantly clever, and it operates on a totally different level than the drive-thru window.
But, before we completely reveal that massive secret, we've got to rewind just a bit and look at how this whole empire actually started back in the day.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1940, and brothers Richard and Maurice McDonald open a highly successful, hyper-efficient single burger stand. They essentially took factory assembly line efficiency and dropped it right into a commercial kitchen. It was brilliant. But the real seismic shift, that hit in the 1950s when a milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc showed up. Kroc took one look at their kitchen and had this massive revelation. He realized the real gold wasn't in flipping the burgers themselves, but in scaling that hyper-efficient system through franchising. Kroc eventually bought the brothers out, got to work, and laid the foundation for a business model that would, frankly, dominate the globe.
And that brings us to the absolute core of their wealth. We're moving past the fries now and into the hidden engine of the business, the real estate secret.
To really grasp how this machine works, you have to split the business in your mind. Think of it like a giant puzzle. On one side, you have the visible, localized restaurant. This is the consumer-facing operation that's making the food and selling directly to you and me. But on the corporate side, they aren't flipping burgers at all. Their day-to-day focus is completely different. They are entirely focused on collecting fees, securing royalties, and managing a colossal portfolio of real estate. It's basically two distinct businesses functioning seamlessly together under one globally recognized brand. Now, the absolutely crucial piece of this puzzle is the franchisee. This is an independent owner who often sinks upwards of $1 to $2 million of their own capital just to open a single location. They are doing all the heavy lifting here. They hire the staff, they fix the broken ice cream machines, manage the inventory, and just sweat the daily grind of the restaurant business. They absorb almost all of that localized risk. And because of that, the corporation gets to sit safely insulated on the other side, acting a lot more like a bank than a burger joint. Because the vast majority of these locations are run by these franchisees, corporate has engineered this beautiful, highly predictable flow of income. First off, they collect a hefty upfront franchise fee. We're talking usually around $45,000, literally just for granting the rights to use the name. On top of that, they take a steady, non-negotiable royalty, usually around 4 to 5% of the restaurant's gross monthly sales. But wait, what's the ultimate financial anchor here? Real estate.
Here is the absolute masterstroke. The corporation often buys the prime physical land or at least secures a long-term lease, and then they turn around and sublease that exact property back to their own franchisee at a significant markup. You might be wondering, why on earth would a franchisee agree to that? Well, because corporate has the immense financial leverage to secure prime, high-traffic real estate that an independent owner could almost never get their hands on alone. So the franchisee isn't just paying for the brand, they are paying rent directly to corporate. In fact, their first president, Harry Sonneborn, famously pointed out that they weren't technically in the food business at all. They were in the real estate business. The food was just a way to ensure their tenants had enough revenue to pay the rent.
So how do they ensure these franchisees don't just go bankrupt under the weight of all those fees and rent markups? Well, they've built an unstoppable, highly optimized winning formula to keep the whole thing running. This formula really rests on 4 core pillars. Number 1, undeniable global brand recognition that basically guarantees instant foot traffic the second a new location opens its doors. Number 2, ruthlessly standardized operations. A meal tastes the exact same in Tokyo as it does in Texas, which minimizes errors and maximizes speed. Number 3 is massive, large-scale purchasing. And finally, number 4, continuous, heavy-hitting marketing campaigns. All of these steps combined create this kind of protective bubble of profitability around every single franchise owner.
Let's actually zoom in on that third pillar for a second, because the large-scale purchasing is a huge advantage. Think about it. When you are buying literally millions of pounds of potatoes and beef for thousands of restaurants, you get to dictate the absolute lowest prices from suppliers. You have total market power. That pushes operational costs way down across the entire system, which maximizes the profit margins for the franchisees. And as we established, a profitable franchisee is a reliable, rent-paying tenant for the corporation.
All right, let's zoom out again. When you combine this foolproof operational formula with that dual-engine business model of real estate and franchising, the numbers get truly mind-boggling.
We are talking about over 40,000 locations globally. Just try to imagine the sheer scale of that property portfolio. Every single one of those restaurants is operating as a highly efficient node in a massive network, steadily feeding rent and royalty revenue right back to the central corporate entity day after day, year after year.
And that massive footprint means they are successfully serving tens of millions of customers every single day. Those millions of small individual transactions, the $3 fries and the $5 burgers, they all add up. That's what generates the localized cash flow for the franchisees. And that cash flow is exactly what enables the franchisees to turn around and pay those massive, non-negotiable rent checks right back to corporate. In a way, the consumers fund the franchisee, just so the franchisee can fund the landlord.
So, pulling this whole shebang together, we can see their success isn't just about selling burgers at all. It's this perfectly balanced triad. You've got franchising for capital-light, rapid expansion. You've got branding to guarantee daily sales and consumer trust. And finally, real estate, the incredibly lucrative bedrock that captures and holds the true wealth of the entire operation. So the next time you drive past those famous golden arches, you'll know exactly what you're really looking at. It's one of the world's most brilliant real estate empires, seamlessly disguised as your local burger joint. It really begs the question, doesn't it? When you buy that burger, are you paying for lunch, or are you just helping a franchisee pay their landlord? I hope this explainer totally changed the way you view everyday business models. We've uncovered the hidden mechanics here today, but there are so many other massive companies with incredible secrets just waiting to be explored. Let us know down in the comments which massive company's hidden mechanics we should decode next, and keep seeking the hidden structures behind the brands you interact with every day.